See, when the music stops, which it really wasn't supposed to do, it stops for a little while, and now it starts back up.
That's called a production error.
Well, it's a production issue. It is one of the things that happens in a high-dollar, high-class production such as this.
You need to talk to your TD, your technical director.
I'll talk to the
TD.
Let's talk to the TD right now. Oh, TD, yes, what can I do for you?
Oh, by the way, you are the TD.
Yeah, I am the TD. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Look who's here. Look who it is. It's Mr. Len Wells.
I'll tell you
and we are going to talk about a ton of stuff.
I apologize for the unfortunate hair accident. You weren't going to bring.
Hold on. I haven't
even got there yet. I'm sorry.
I haven't shot you with the straight on shot, which I will here very shortly.
Okay.
But
with that camera.
Yeah, but we're right now. Okay. We're still on camera 1.
Ooh. One of my favorite cameras.
That's exactly right. We're on camera 1. That's right there.
I know. I see it right there.
All right, just making sure.
Most big operations have like 3 cameras, but that's okay.
We've got 3. There's the second one right there. The third one.
I apologize. I take it back. I take back everything.
Actually, the third one I never use. The third one is basically in case something terrible happens to the first and the second.
What's the name of your key grip? By the way, who's your key grip?
Bruce Dickey.
Bruce Dickey.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what a key grip is.
I do know what a key grip is. Yeah. He's the
Mr. Duct
main
Tape
electrician
man.
guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Handles all this wires and cables and things of that nature.
You are from your mouth to God's ears right there. And all you people watching as well. So
hush.
Yeah, that's all good. But Len Wells is here. We're going to talk about a wide variety of subjects, which we'll find out as we go. Len has surprises for me, from what I understand, and we're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV over in Salem on Channel 3, here in Flora, Channel 100. Same story up in Louisville, down in Sisney, Jeff, Browns, Mount Erie, Albion, Hartville. For those of us, by the way, we have probably...
Up yonder?
It's up near Effingham.
Okay.
We have several. We're expanding that direction, and we're expanding into Effingham County, Dietrich, and Teutopolis.
Cool.
A lot of folks up there, new customers. I tell you what, I'll ask you to give a bio of yourself here in a little bit, and just to make yourself familiar.
That'll burn up 25 minutes.
He knows me so well. What's going on in your area today, folks? Some community events. February 24th, Monday, February 24th today.
One of my favorite days of the week.
Happy birthday to Anita Dickey. Happy birthday, my loving mother.
She is a sweethart.
She really
is. She absolutely is a sweetheart. We do sometimes. Has she told you this yet?
No.
A lot of times, sometimes we'll go bar hopping.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. It's a lot of fun.
She
drives.
She's 63 years young.
Oh, I know she is. She's a sweetheart. She's absolutely a sweetheart.
She drives.
She drives when we go bar hopping.
Well, that's good. Yeah, she's
no, she's a lovely, lovely lady. And I'm just happy birthday.
Don't worry, she's not watching this.
Burned up another minute.
There you go.
Keep going.
But happy birthday to
Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. I do appreciate what happened 50 years ago. Who knows?
Oh, my God.
What's going on in the neighborhood? It's a canned food drive today at the Flora Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center.
Leave the canned okra at home.
Well, I was waiting for you to say, oh, my.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yeah, there you go. National Canned Food Month. Canned Food Drive during the month of February at the Flora Rehab and Healthcare Center. All foods will be donated to your local food pantry. You can drop off your food donations at the Healthcare Center. Also at the Healthcare Center today, this one might be more up your alley. At 11:30, it's bingo and popcorn.
Oh, my.
There you go. Bingo and popcorn at the Flora Rehab and Healthcare today.
No
Not
shots?
a ton.
No shots?
Say what?
No shots? Just popcorn?
No shots that I know of.
I'm not talking about vaccination.
Yeah, I know what you're. That's not what I'm talking. I don't think there are.
That's okay.
This is National Tortilla Chip Day.
Oh, I love
February
tortillas.
24th, National Tortilla Chip Day. Now, did you know? Here's a look at those tortillas. Those are the corn style, and those are probably the more floured style of tortilla.
I'm more fond of the corn style. How about you?
This is not to be confused. I like corn. I like the
floured.
I like the floured
because they're a little more crunchy or a little more thin.
A little thinner. Little thinner.
That's okay.
That's the story here. By the way, it's a day. This is a day set aside for a crunchy snack loved by millions across the nation. Observed annually on February 24th. And this is not to be confused with National Corn Chip Day, which we had.
That's a whole different deal. That'd be like your Frito kind of thing.
Exactly right.
We can't use those words.
As a matter of fact, corn chips were invented by the dude who invented Fritos.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he basically a auto magnate from Detroit.
Huh.
Yeah. Started selling corn chips, but this is Tortilla Day. This is
here's your little trivia. Do you know where most of the local? I shouldn't say locally, Midwest, where the corn chip, the basic ingredients for corn chips, where they're processed.
I think I know this, but
I'll give you a hint.
If I guess it, I fear looking just too bright.
Well, okay.
I don't usually have to fear that.
Well, go ahead.
It's the place on Route 41.
Yeah, it's Azteca Milling.
Azteca, that's right. Azteca. Yeah, that's a big place.
Huge place, and they process corn for corn chips and tortillas and all.
How many people work there?
Hundreds. It's a big place.
Yeah,
My brother Steve used to work there. He was an environmental engineer for me.
Oh, is that right?
He handled their wastewater treatment.
So he was the guy who went out with the corn husks and would drop them into the ponds.
Absolutely, and stir it.
And stir it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So he's the dude who was probably in charge of creating hominy.
I hate hominy. There's where the nearest hominy mill is?
No, where's the nearest
Mount Vernon, Indiana.
Really?
If you drive into Mount Vernon, Indiana, and head down toward the riverfront, the Ohio riverfront, you can smell hominy. Which to me, hominy smells good, but it tastes dreadful.
Really?
I don't like hominy. Are you a hominy fan?
I love hominy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I think hominy's a wonderful invention.
No. Get you a pocket full.
Who in the world? By the way, and this all ties back into tortilla chip day.
Yes.
Because part of making tortilla chips, taking the corn out of it is you soak them in lye.
Yeah, lye water.
Lye water.
Yeah.
And that's how homony's made, right?
Correct. Absolutely. And who wants to drink lye water? So
who would drink lye water?
Not me.
Who is the bright guy who threw his corn into
some
lye water?
Well, the husk came off. That's what it was, and it didn't bother the inside of the corn. So you're just trying to dehusk it's what you're doing.
Instead of peeling the husk off, it's easier than peeling husks.
Yes.
But it affected the fruit of the husk of the kernel.
Right.
Not enough to make it poisonous
because it's rinsed, and then it makes horrible hominy, which I hate hominy.
This is
hominy. That's from another show.
This is National FFA Week. Celebrate this week with it's always during the week of George Washington's birthday. The event commemorates Washington's dedication and involvement in agriculture. Future Farmers America began as a statewide group for vocational agricultural students and started in what state? Where do you think National
Iowa.
FFA?
Iowa.
Virginia.
Okay, I wasn't even close. Now, did you know that Flora High School has their FFA has a fencing team? Did you know that? You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've got North Clay coming on tomorrow.
Well, you ask them. Because it has to do with how much barbed wire they can string in an hour. It's a fencing team. They put up fencing. You didn't know that. FFA.
There's the blue corduroy.
Oh, you can hear them coming. I love them. They're great people. Great kids.
That's exactly.
They really and truly are. It's a great organization.
Entirely great organization. Each year, FFA chapters around the country celebrate National FFA Week by sharing what the FFA is and the impact it has on its members. I've got FFA, like I said, tomorrow on this very show.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I've got the FFA kids.
Are you going to ask them about their fencing team? You do. Please do.
I will.
Ask them if they have. If they don't, they need a fencing team.
I'll ask if they need volunteers.
That'd be great.
They need
I'm just saying.
So with the fencing team, you don't have it's not sword play.
No, it has nothing to do with a foil.
So well, yeah, as I am for you from time to time.
That is true.
Just a couple of homonyms talking over here.
I don't like hominy. I never did.
You don't like homonyms.
Homina.
Oh, what else is going on this week? This is National Grapefruit Month.
That's disgusting. Oh, that's pink grapefruit. That's not so bad.
You don't like regular grapefruit?
I don't like grapefruit. It's just too sour. You can't put enough sugar on it for me to eat it.
February is National Grapefruit Month. I will ask you a question. Where it doesn't make sense at all, does it, that the name of that particular fruit
has the word grape in it?
Grapefruit.
Makes no sense. I don't know.
Where do you think the name came from?
I don't know. I have no idea.
The name grapefruit comes from, well, there's two different theories on this. One theory is that on the trees, on the grapefruit trees, grapefruits are bunched up.
Like grapes.
Like grapes.
I did not know that.
That's one theory.
And the other theory?
The other theory is that they were named grapefruit, and people just got confused.
Grapefruit? Grapefruit.
For their size.
And they are big.
They are big.
And I like big ones.
They're great. And another, I do too, another word for them, but they're trying to make it, but I don't think it's going to, there's a fruit called a pomelo. And they say the grapefruit is actually a pomelo. But that doesn't make sense to me.
No, I don't care for grapefruit. And there's certain medications you can't take with grapefruit. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
It counteracts it.
A few. Yeah,
I don't know what they are.
What's on Wabash? What do you want to see on TV tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Boys High School basketball. Woo-hoo! IHSA Class 2A Regional. Flora Wolves taking on the Vandalia Vandals. I'll be there at 6 o'clock tonight.
Exciting.
That's right here on this channel. Again, probably a little bit before 6, 5 minutes or so before 6, because they always get those things going early. So keep it right here on this channel. NCAA games tonight. A few, there are like 3 or 4 games. It is Louisville versus Florida State. That's on ESPN. Also on ESPN, Oklahoma State versus Kansas. We've shifted over, by the way. I guess you saw that. I think I hit the wrong one. Now I'm on the right one. So yeah, it's Louisville versus Florida State, Oklahoma State at Kansas. That's on ESPN. West Virginia at Texas. That's on ESPNU. The big one, though.
I like big ones.
The big one. Fighting Illini.
How are they doing this year?
Fighting Illini. Actually, big win on Tuesday night.
And they beat?
Last time they played, they won at Penn State.
Ooh, that is a big deal.
Win. Huge win. Yeah. They were a top 10 ranked team.
Wow.
And now Illinois.
So Illinois is going to play who there?
Nebraska coming in to take on Illinois on Big Ten Network tonight at 7 o'clock.
Is that right?
We have talked about corn so much, and
I love corn.
How did you know? You know nothing about sports. How did you know the name of the Nebraska team?
I just do. I've watched their football team a few times.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Len Wells,
Mr. Sports.
The king of sports. And we'll be right back on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey back after this word. Stick around.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lemon Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lemons always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemonsonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Morning, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thank you so much for tuning in. Right there is Len Wells as we are bringing you today's action. Happy Monday to you.
It's a great day. Mondays, I love Mondays.
Mondays are just wonderful.
I love them. I mean, seriously.
You know, why do you like Mondays more than Tuesday?
I don't know, but I just saw something. I read something this morning that is so true.
What's that?
Folgers has it all wrong. You know their commercial, which I
best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
Yeah. No, the best part of waking up is going back to bed after you pee. That's the best part of waking up. Seriously, going back to bed. Did I say that? Can you say that?
You did.
Can you say that on?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay,
I don't think we'll get fined.
Apologize.
I hope I don't get fired, but I don't think we'll get fined.
But I think Folgers got it wrong. That's really not the best part of waking up. Going back to bed is the best part.
I was wondering what the best
going back
the best part
to the sack is
let's
the best
tell
part.
All right, let's tell folks who may not be familiar with you from up in the
sure.
Folks, new viewers all the time.
Sure.
New viewers all the time. This is Len Wells. He is a
You said raconteur?
I've got you on there as a raconteur.
Is that an ugly word? I mean, is that something hateful?
It could be.
Well,
but no, it's not.
I've been called a lot of things.
I've
been called a raconteur.
You're a raconteur.
That's French, isn't it?
Well,
I love French toast, too.
It's a bastardization, I suppose, of French.
I don't know.
See, now I just said that word, too, so we're just
off. You'll be off the air forever now.
Off. We're
Can't
gone.
you hear me?
Okay, so, but
a little bit about me, huh?
Len is a former FBI. You worked for the FBI for a short period of time.
And a lot of people said it was Farm Bureau Insurance, but it really wasn't. It was the Federal Bureau of Investigations.
You worked for
G-Man.
You worked for Channel 14 in Evansville
13
for many years
for WFIE TV in Evansville, Indiana. I was a general assignment reporter at first, then a feature reporter, then I was the farm director, and then I was the news director, and then I see you out the door.
Oh, out the door.
Yeah, that happens after 13 years.
Well, that happens in television.
Every day, absolutely. But yeah, I've held quite a few positions.
You were at WFIW in Fairfield
25 years.
25 years.
News director there for many, many years.
All 25 you were news director.
Yes, a news director, correct.
And you've also had many columns for years, weekly columns in Evansville Courier.
I wrote for the Evansville Courier. I still write a little bit for the Evansville Courier Press newspaper, but I wrote a weekly column for a long time, and then the newspaper there sold and they downsized, and so with the downsizing, so went the column. But I still do some general news reporting for the Evansville Courier.
And
but that's not my main job today.
That's not your main gig. Your main gig now probably is writing for the Carmi Chronicle.
Yes.
And the Navigator Journal.
Navigator Journal, which they have offices in Albion and Grayville.
And the Prairie Post.
And the Prairie Post, which is a free distribution newspaper that's published by the same outfit.
Have they... a lot of small town newspapers have some have grasped and embraced the thought of online, putting their stuff out online more than others. For instance, Wayne County Press, you really have to dig hard to find them a presence online
and or pay for it.
And or pay for it.
Right.
And pay for it. I don't think there's no or about it.
Yeah.
You got to pay for it. The Navigator.
They have a website.
I didn't know if they did or not.
They do have a website. I'm not trying to be critical of anything, but they do not give away the paper on the website. There's no reason to.
That's the thing. There's a reason that they want you to buy the paper.
Right. Because they got advertisers, and here's the thing about a local newspaper, and I can't say enough good about local newspapers. If a local newspaper keeps it local, and have pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures, people will continue to buy that paper and be loyal to that newspaper.
That's right.
But the moment that you venture into politics and venture into national news and international news and features and all that, I think you've lost your identity. I truly do, and that's why a lot of papers have failed, but I think the small hometown paper is going to survive because local pictures.
You know, and that's the key to that is a lot of these papers, they don't have a gigantic subscription base.
No.
Not a large number of folks who are getting it thrown in there. Is there even a paper boy on a bike anymore?
Well, they're supposed to be, but not that many. Not
minor in cars. But you don't see that. But as long as they stay relatively steady, they're able to survive.
They're able to survive with two or three sources, Bruce. One is, of course, your regular advertisers,
right?
You got your car dealers and your grocery stores and the shops like that, right, that are going to be in that paper regularly. You also have, if your newspaper is the paper of record for that particular county, you get a lot of legal advertising stuff that has to be published by law of the newspaper of record in that particular county. Now, the Navigator Journal has a unique position. They get all the legals for Edwards and White counties as well, and some Wabash, because a little dab of Grayville is in Wabash County. So they got legal notices, and those they're expensive to run because they're so detailed and they have to be absolutely perfect. And so a legal rate is a higher rate than
you can have no Scrivener's errors.
No, so if you have your display advertising is considerably less expensive than a legal notice. So you got that income stream. The other income stream you have, besides subscriptions, of course, are inserts.
Right.
So you'll have your grocery store ad, you'll have a car dealership, or somebody wants to sell you gutters or shingles on your house, stuff like that. Those inserts also as an income stream. But as long as that paper continues to be local and features a lot of photographs of lots of people, kids especially, because moms and grandmas and aunts and uncles, you want to buy copies of
and that's
what's important.
And that's the thing. We could name on one hand or two hands the number of papers around the area that went to a more of a base of bringing in national news to try to fill space. I mean, Mount Vernon Register News, to mention one that is no longer in existence.
Right.
We can say I'll go tromp all over the paper if we want.
They're gone.
They're gone. There was a good paper for a long time. It was a good paper. Then they started bringing in national stuff, and it just kind of.
There are so many outlets, Bruce, for national news that you're not going to go to your local paper to see what they're doing in Iran or Iraq or in Washington D.C.
Right.
That's just
I don't know how I got off on that.
I don't know. I think it's important though, and but newspapers, local newspapers, I think are important. And what has happened to the Evansville Courier Press is they've sold so many times now, and they're actually printed in Louisville, Kentucky now. And they've, here's another interesting thing about the Navigator Journal.
The sports page, the deadline keeps dropping earlier and earlier, so you don't get to today's scores and that kind of thing.
Mr. Reppert, the co-owner of the Navigator and the Prairie Post and the Carmike Chronicle, he has a philosophy, and this is something I've talked to him about, but he's adamant about this. He will not charge a penny for an obituary.
Really?
Will not. He absolutely, obituaries are free. He says, we want every obituary from every community because that's the last thing that's going to be written about this person. The genealogists like it. Yeah. And he says, I'm not going to charge for it. Most newspapers charge for that. When my brother passed away in Evansville, Indiana, I said, I want to put it in the Evansville paper. So I called over there.
He lived there. That's where his friends were.
I want to put it in there. And I also, he worked for a long time at a school in Henderson, Kentucky. I want to put it in the Henderson Gleaner, too. What do you think that obituary was going to cost?
$25 a piece.
How about $600? $600. And if you want it just in the Evansville paper, it's going to be like 400 and something. It was a deal to have it in both papers. So it's one thing to say that $25 for that obituary is outrageous, but you go into your bigger metropolitan newspapers,
wow,
they whack you big time.
I guess
and that's a part of their income stream. But they disagree with that philosophy. I don't think it's outrageous to charge somebody $20 or $25 because I guarantee you the funeral home is going to charge it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got off the subject there.
We're both getting way off subject. To tell you what, he does have something. Actually, he was going to tell us.
Kind of interesting. I think it's interesting.
We're going to come right back here on Big Talk. I've got Len Wells here. Back after this word. Stick around.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
In 1949, Morton Buildings constructed our first machine storage building to establish our bond with the farming community. Since then, our relationship has grown, and so have our product offerings. From the smallest specialized operation to the largest agricultural enterprise, we understand the needs of your business and continue to evolve to meet industry demands. Plus, when you build a Morton building, you're backed by the strongest warranty in the business. To learn more about the Morton Advantage, visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lemon Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lemons always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemonsonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. My guest today, Len Wells.
Yeah.
How you doing, Len?
I'm doing great. It's always great to be on.
By the way, appreciate you being here. I noticed...
Mondays I love coming to Flora.
You forgot something, by the way.
What'd I do?
You usually bring me eggs.
I did forget that. I thought about that about the time I hit Sisney, and I'm so sorry. I'll bring them by your house.
I'll figure something.
I'll bring them by your house.
No, you don't need to do that.
Get you some egg beaters instead.
I'll be all right. Well, I didn't bring you any cartons back, so sorry about that. That's my bad. Yeah. Len is here. We're going to talk about, you had a friend. You grew up with a kid, a good friend of yours that had a connection. We're in the middle of the political season right now, and
it touches on politics a little bit. But
the reason I bring that up is you had a good friend who was involved in politics 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Had a relationship with a candidate
a presidential
candidate, and lived just a terrifically interesting life. Tell me a little bit, and he's no longer with us. Tell me a little bit about Mr. Mike McGarvey.
Mike McGarvey passed away. It's been 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's been gone about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact day. But
Where was he still?
He lived in Grayville.
Okay.
He was born and raised in Grayville, and Grayville native. But he, besides his connection to politics and a presidential campaign, he was, in my estimation, a true war hero.
Really?
There's no question about it in my mind.
Really?
A true war hero. And Mr. McGarvey was 69 when he died.
Oh, that's young.
Yeah, that's very young.
So I'm doing the math. He was probably late in it was Vietnam War.
Yes, Vietnam War. He was kind of late in the late end of the Vietnam War. But Mike McGarvey was a Marine Corps member.
So
and
a grunt.
A grunt. Oh, yeah. And he was a radio man is what he was.
Okay.
And he was a radio man for a guy by the name of Jim Webb.
Fella named Jim Webb would have been his officer, I presume.
That was his commanding officer in this platoon that he was serving in.
Was Webb a lieutenant at the time?
I believe that's correct.
McGarvey would have been, if he was a radio man, a more likely a corporal or
less. I don't know. I don't really remember what Mike's rank was in the Marine Corps, but he served as a radio man for Jim Webb. Okay. Jim Webb was his commanding officer, and I bring this up and wanted to preface this whole story so that you'll know the relationship between Mike McGarvey and Jim Webb and how that friendship was sealed forever on the battlefield.
Yeah.
And Jim Webb has served as a U.S. Senator from the state of Virginia. He's from Virginia, so he served as a U.S. Senator from Virginia, ran for president.
In 16.
In 16, very briefly. It was unsuccessul campaign. It doesn't matter, but he ran.
A couple of months.
And before that, though, he was also and I guess it would have been under under Bush, served as Secretary of Navy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a cabinet level position.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Secretary of the Navy. But Jim Webb has written a number of books, and one of the books he wrote was The Fields of Fire. And it's about his experience in Vietnam, the Vietnam War. And he wrote about his friendship with Mike McGarvey and how that came to be. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to read a little passage from that book. Do we have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
And Jim Webb wrote in his book, the day the piece of shrapnel ripped his arm away just below the shoulder, Mike lost his left arm in battle.
Yeah.
The day that a piece of shrapnel ripped his arm away just below the shoulder, a clean swipe like a hot knife that left his arm intact at his feet, I cried. Mike McGarvey was my radio operator, which in Marine Rifle Platoon is tantamount to shadowhood. Alter ego, little brother. Everywhere I walked, he was 2 steps behind, carrying the PRC-25 radio that linked us to the company. Nights we slept on the same poncho, talking for hours in the darkness about home, aspirations, love, God, our soul. McGarvey, this is fascinating. McGarvey was the 5th radio operator I had lost in 3 months. I had lured him to the job because I liked him. He was competent. He was a friend. He was just 18 years old.
Wow.
And so they're in battle, and a mortar comes in, and a piece of shrapnel cuts his left arm off just like a hot knife going through butter. And Jim Webb said he cried. And he said, and then Mike McGarvey responded to him, knock that stuff off, Lieutenant. It's only an arm.
Oh,
it's only an arm. So anyway, so then Mike McGarvey, of course, they medevac him out on one of the big green Hueys, you know, and he winds up in a hospital in Philadelphia. And as soon as he is released from the hospital in Philadelphia, he goes out and gets a tattoo on his stub of his left arm. And that tattoo, swear to gosh, dotted line, cut along dotted line. That's the tattoo on his stub. So anyway,
that's a pretty tough guy.
Yeah. And so when he left Philadelphia, and after he got that tattoo, he was welcomed home as anything but a hero.
Oh, is that right?
As he left, he said, and Jim Webb writes about this, as he left the hospital in Philadelphia, there were protesters around there because it was a military hospital. They spit on him. And because he was wearing the uniform.
Yeah, you hear anecdotes and looking back 50 years, younger folks don't realize the attitude.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible.
And today, thank goodness, today people who serve overseas and they come home, they are treated, they're welcomed and embraced, and that's the way it should be. But it was not in Vietnam. Right. It absolutely was not. So Mike McGarvey comes home to Grayville, and what's he get into? Alcohol. Doesn't have a job. One-armed guy.
Tell you what, let's do.
And that's kind of where this story ends for right now.
We'll take a break here. We're going to come back and tell about the redemption.
Absolutely, because it's
Mike
an interesting
McGarvey.
story.
That's pretty good. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That's Len Wells. We'll be back right after this word. Do please stick around.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lemon Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lemons always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemonsonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Welcome back, folks. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Len Wells is here. We were talking about Mike McGarvey.
Yeah, Mac. A lot of people call him Mac.
Mac?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike McGarvey.
And Mr. McGarvey passed away 2 or 3 weeks ago.
69 years old.
69 years old, Vietnam veteran, Vietnam Purple Heart winner. He's back from Vietnam.
Back from Vietnam, not really welcomed, didn't get much of a welcome when he left the hospital in Philadelphia. People spat on him. And so he came home, and it's a small town in Grayville. There's not a lot of job opportunities for a one-armed anybody.
Right.
And so, he didn't do a whole lot back home in Grayville in the beginning after the war. But Jim Webb, his friend, who was with him when he lost his arm, says, I'm not going to let you waller. So he said
he was kind of wallering, a little self-pity.
Absolutely. And
you can't blame him.
No.
Yeah. One-armed guy figures he's not going to be able.
So how is he going to go to work in the oil fields? Nobody's going to hire a one-armed guy in the oil fields because that's about the only jobs that were available in that particular area. So Mike always had an interest in motorcycles. Always. I mean, before he went off to the war and everything, big into motorcycles. And Jim Webb had another Marine that he served with who got out of the war and started a motorcycle shop in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And said, Mike, you got to go talk to this guy. He might be able to help you find a job. I know you're interested in Harley Davidsons, anything motorcycles. So Mike goes to Nashville, Tennessee, does an interview with another one of Jim Webb's fellow Marines. Long story made short, the guy hired him.
Nice.
And Mike became the parts manager for this very large Harley Davidson dealership in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow, that's cool.
That was a great job. And that really turned Mike's life around. In fact, Jim Webb wrote another article, not a book, but he wrote an article in a little publication called the Parade Magazine.
Okay.
And the title,
that's not very little.
And so
I got to tell you, I've never heard anybody describe Parade magazine as a little publication. It's getting smaller all the time.
It is, but it was very big back then. But anyway, and the name of the article was "When a One-Armed Man Is Not a Loser."
Yeah.
And it was about Mike McGarvey's struggles in his time post Vietnam War and how he became a parts manager at this place. And anyway, it's when a one-armed man is not a loser.
Sure.
Jim Webb wrote that article, and that was kind of Mike really started redeeming himself and really turning things around. And so Jim Webb's involved in politics. He's a U.S. senator from the state of Virginia,
okay.
And so when Jim Webb was running for re-election, he called Mike and said, I need you. For what? Well, you need a one-armed guy for running for Senate. I need you as my driver. So,
wait a minute. You skipped over the middle part.
Which part's it?
In Nashville.
Oh gosh, yes. Thank you.
How could you skip over that part?
I apologize.
We'll get to the driving part. I like the middle part better.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
the driving's pretty cool for a presidential candidate.
Yeah, I apologize.
But there's one thing in the middle there that this guy did that is pretty cool too.
Mike McGarvey took a different job after he for whatever reason he left the motorcycle shop. I don't know why. I don't know that.
Change of life.
I don't know that story. But he went for a little joint. I guess you'd call it a honky tonk.
It's a honky tonk.
A joint in downtown.
Back when he worked for it, it was probably a small little
downtown
joint.
Nashville, Tennessee. A little place called Tootsie's. He managed Tootsie's.
Tootsie's Orchid Lounge.
Tootsie's Orchid Lounge, which how many country stars got their had their first
hung out there.
I've been in there, and there's a thing written on the wall. Chris Christopherson's name's written on the wall.
That's the booth. That's his booth.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Willie Nelson's booth.
Oh gosh, yes.
Willie Nelson passed out in the street right out in front of.
There's no question about it. But anyway,
he did.
Mike,
he wrote about it.
Mike managed that place, and part of his responsibilities were to book all the musical acts, of which there were usually always two bands playing at the same time, upstairs and downstairs. Two bands, same time, all the time.
What was the time frame when he was at Tootsie's?
Gosh, I'm sorry, Bruce. I'm really not good.
The reason I ask,
with ages,
there is a reason I ask.
I just don't remember
because in that time frame in the late '80s.
It'd be later than that.
Okay, in the late '80s, it was or late '80s, maybe 1990. I went to Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been to Nashville in the last 10 or 15, 20 years,
that is a must-stop place.
And you go downtown, you go on Broadway, and you see Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. It's a big place now.
It is. It didn't used to be that big, but
it didn't used to be that big. That's when I went there, and I hung out there one or two nights.
It's a lot of fun.
Or a lot of fun. John Anderson was busking.
Is that right?
John Anderson had already
peaked.
He'd already peaked and come back down, and the Americana thing had not brought him back up.
Right.
He was he had already done Swingin' and Elvira or whatever, not Elvira, whatever his other songs. This is before Seminole Win, though.
Sure.
So he's just basically in there.
Picking and a grinning,
and he might have been. He might have been
cocktail or two.
He might have had a cocktail or two.
Okay, well that happens. Yeah, that's because they call it a lounge.
That's what they call it.
So
Mike was lounging. So Mike's a manager of this place. How long did he manage that place?
It was a few years, and his son had a barbecue place across the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a barbecue place, so it was kind of a family deal.
Oh, sure.
So anyway, that was a lot of fun there.
Okay, so he's working there.
And he gets a phone call.
Minding his own business.
Got a good job there. Got a good gig.
Doing well.
Really good gig.
Downtown Nashville.
Jim Webb calls him up, says, I need you. What for? What do you need a one-armed Vietnam vet for? I've got a good job here. He said, I need you, man. You can't turn me down.
He can't.
No, he really can't. So he said, okay, I need you as my driver. And he needed him as a driver for his re-election campaign for U.S. Senate.
In Virginia. So he takes off, and he became his driver. And he was also his driver for his 2016 presidential campaign. I got to tell you, this is interesting to me that God bless Jim Webb for doing that, and for McGarvey for taking the gig. But usually, don't you like to get a driver who knows his way around the place?
Well, you would think. but it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
This is before the days of GPS on your phone.
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure Jim said, "Okay, go up here 2 miles and turn right."
Yeah,
you know he was.
Take a right here.
Absolutely.
There you go. I tell you what, we're going to take one final quick break. We're going to come back with Len Wells right after this word. You are watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey on Wabash Catch TV. We'll be back right after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Le Mans Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from Wabash Communications. Wabash Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of Wabash Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple, to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
In 1949, Morton Buildings constructed our first machine storage building to establish our bond with the farming community. Since then, our relationship has grown, and so have our product offerings. From the smallest specialized operation to the largest agricultural enterprise, we understand the needs of your business and continue to evolve to meet industry demands. Plus, when you build a Morton building, you're backed by the strongest warranty in the business. To learn more about the Morton Advantage, visit mortonbuildings.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. My guest today is Leonard Sue Wells.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that's one of my nicknames, Leonard Sue. My son John calls me, anytime I see him, calls me Sue.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Hey, Sue, how you doing? And that's respectful as far as I'm concerned. Leonard Sue.
Are you sure?
I think so. I wondered why
He's
we
not
were
calling you Dad.
I wonder why we've been estranged for so long.
All right, McGarvey, Mac is driving for the senator.
Driving for the senator, and so anyway, he's got a great job. And he later on became a legislative aide.
Oh, he did
for Senator Webb, and
nice.
Worked on a lot of veterans issues. Related to veterans, people.
I can imagine that. I presume, and this is a presumption, of course, but I would imagine that Senator Jim Webb was the go-to guy for veterans organizations.
Absolutely. He's a Marine Corps veteran of the Vietnam War, former Secretary of the Navy, former U.S. Senator, and he would be quite an activist for Veterans Affairs. And Mike McGarvey was a legislative aide in that respect as well. And between the two of them, they were able to get passed, legislation got passed, which was actually an addition or an extension to the GI Bill, but it was primarily targeting veterans of the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, those soldiers returning home, and services and benefits for those veterans.
I guess I didn't realize that the GI Bill didn't cover
It did not. It covered specific groups of military people, veterans,
like Korean era veterans, and
this was targeting specifically those returning from our wars in the Middle East. And so McGarvey, yeah, and so believe it or not, Bruce, Tom Brokaw, former NBC News anchorman and commentator and author, wrote in his one of his other books, not The Greatest Generation, but he wrote another book, and it dealt primarily with the Vietnam War. Tom Brokaw wrote a book, and there's an excerpt in this book, and it's hilarious to me. He was talking about Jim Webb, and he also was talking about Mike McGarvey.
Oh, really?
And how Mike McGarvey was a legislative aide for Senator Webb. And he said, that's the only legislative aide that I have ever met that had a nipple ring and a cut-along dotted line tattoo on his stub. And that's in Tom Brokaw's book. Swear to goodness.
Did he show the thing?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. Now, in his after his death, I just saw this this week on Facebook. There are friends and people that want to memorialize Mike McGarvey. They're now offering T-shirts with Mike McGarvey's likeness on it, and the left sleeve has cut along dotted line, and that slogan on the left sleeve. Swear, yes, I'm going to get one. Good. I'm going to try to get one. But Mike was he honestly was a true war hero in my mind. He was a troubled individual when he came home, but who wasn't when he came home from that particular war? But he was a great guy, and anytime he saw me, he couldn't wait to come over and talk to me, and my wife, and he's just a good man, and he's truly, truly, truly going to be missed. Mike McGarvey.
It's very seldom you see somebody who actually, after they've passed away, get the memorial T-shirt.
But it is so funny because
they're sold. For instance, when Stan David passed away, they had Marty put together a memorial T-shirt, and they had a scholarship.
Absolutely,
or sold T-shirts to raise money for a nice little scholarship at the high school in Fairfield, and
I don't know what the money's going for.
Well, I'm sure it's going for something like that. Probably veteran services or something like that.
I would hope so, but I'm going to get me one of those. It's got Bud Light on it somewhere too, as I recall.
Does it really?
Yeah. That was his drink of choice.
Well, the Smiley or whatever his name is from the distributorship probably knew Mike pretty well.
I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, Mike is gone, and he's a good guy. He survived by a son.
G-Money, pardon me.
No, whatever.
That's his name.
Yeah. And there was another passing here recently. Did I tell you about that?
No, I didn't hear.
Actually, Uncle Skeet's cousin.
Oh, Uncle Skeet.
Uncle Skeet's cousin, Jake Brake Oldendorf, died. Did you know that?
No,
tragic four-wheeler accident.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a terrific U-turn. Tremendous left turn on what we've been talking about.
Oh, absolutely. But Jake Brake Oldendorf died in a tragic four-wheeler accident. He was trying
sorry to hear that.
He was trying to set a new. Well, what actually?
This is your Uncle Skeet.
Uncle Skeet.
So this is the cousin on the other side.
Correct. Yes.
This is not your cousin.
And when I said it's a four-wheeler accident, it was actually, truthfully, it was a souped-up lawnmower.
Oh,
yeah, souped-up lawnmower that he had, a racing lawnmower, and he was trying to set
Have you seen those things?
They're amazing.
They are amazing, and they like zoom.
Oh, they do. Well, anyway, he was trying to set
They try to mow with one, but
no, they don't put blades on these. These are strictly for speed.
That makes sense.
And Jake Brake Oldendorf was trying to set a new speed record up an oil field lease road down in near Rumsey, Kentucky, is where this happened. And he came around this thing, and there'd been apparently the oil field company been doing some
he didn't know
pulling a well, didn't know about, and they had a sucker rod stretched across the road there. It's kind of a gate looking thing.
Which you can understand. You'd like it painted so you can see it.
But this wasn't the case. So Jake Brake hits that thing at full speed. It hits him kind of just above his belt line and folded him in half.
Oh,
it killed him dead. He was DRT. Did you know that?
Dead right there.
Dead right there. Yeah.
I thought he's DRN.
No, he was dead right there.
He wasn't dead right now?
No, DRT. And so anyway, he'd been there. They looked for him for several days, and they finally did find him. But anyway, poor Jake Brake. When the funeral home got him back to the parlor, I mean, they couldn't.
Was that Marion? I don't know what the funeral home serves Rumsey. Which would it be Marion, Kentucky, or which one?
No, Marion's too close to Kentucky Lake. I don't remember which one it was.
Would you go down toward Paris, Tennessee, maybe, or something?
Yeah, a little closer to the southern end there, east. But anyway, they got him down to the parlor.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're getting close, very close there. Yeah,
Mayfield,
land between the legs, Mayfield. Anyway, can't remember the name of the parlor, but they got him down there. Couldn't couldn't get him unfolded. The funeral director, he was still folded. Folded in half.
He'd been there on the sucker rod for
so long they couldn't get him unfolded. So the funeral director called another one of his funeral director friends and said, "Can you help me? I don't know how to do that. I can't figure this out." So they said, "What you do is you take the coffin."
So the other guy knew.
He knew because he'd been down this road before.
He said, really? He had to deal with this.
Yeah. He said you put some eye bolts. You put some
the more experienced.
Sure. You put some eye bolts in the bottom of the coffin. There at the bottom and there at the top, and then you go to the hardware store and get some bungee cords, and then you strap his legs down with the bungee cords and hook them onto those eye bolts, and then you push his torso down and secure that with bungee cords, and he'll lay flat. Like he's got good sense.
Sure.
And that's what he did.
Just like you did.
So Jake Brake Oldendorf looked presentable for the viewing.
That's nice.
So because this was in Kentucky, they have a custom down there called sitting up with the dead.
Sure.
Have you ever heard of that? Seriously.
Yeah.
In the old days, nobody.
In the days when they would lay the table out on like the dining room table.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. But you set up with the dead, and you don't leave them alone.
Right.
Like that was the custom. It's just an old time kind of a Kentucky custom. So several of Jake Brake Oldendorf's friends, including Uncle Skeet and Ray, were there sitting up with the dead.
That's nice that Ray decided to
come out. So they're sitting around there, and a few hours go by. It's getting dark and everything, and Ray says,
"You ever been in a funeral home like a dark at night? Like it gets like
it is
can get spooky.
I don't like it at all. But anyway, so Ray says, I'm going to go to work early in the morning. Said, if you're going to be sitting up, I'm going to go home. And they said, "I'll go ahead, no problem. We'll be all right."
That's nice.
So they got a little bottle. They're passing the bottle back around, telling stories about Jake Brake.
Sure.
A lot of stories being told during the sitting up with the dead deal.
Yeah.
And so another one of the friends says, this is getting kind of spooky. I don't know if I can do this or not. He said, if you guys are going to be sitting up, I'm going home. So that's fine. So
there were like four of them.
So now it's two or three. Anyway, so Skeet's there and a couple others. And then anyway, so one thing leads to another. And the guy said, "Man, I don't know if I can do this. This is just something I'm not comfortable with. Plus, I've had a little bit too much to drink." He said, "If you're going to be sitting up, I'm going home.
I'm heading up, yeah."
So long story made short, this pretty well leaves nobody but Skeet.
Oh, really?
Skeet's there all by himself with Jake Brake Oldendorf. Laid out there like he's got good sense, and Skeet said, "Well, this is just part of it. If those guys don't have enough guts to stay here and sitting up with the dead, and I will, because he's my good friend, he's my cousin.
Absolutely.
I have to do it. It's my duty. It's my responsibility. Right. It's what family does."
That's right.
Well, he's sitting there. Of course, he's still got a little bottle of Rebel Yell. That's nothing but the best, Rebel Yell, right?
Of course not.
He's sipping on that a little bit, and about that time, Bruce, a big storm blew up. I mean, he could see the lightning in the distance through the funeral home window. He could see the lightning. They said, "Man, this is getting real spooky here," so he'd take a little more nip of that Rebel Yell, And that storm gets a little closer, and there's lightning. Gosh, the lightning's starting to carry on and everything. Getting scary. He said, man, I don't know what about this. So, then the storm just starts really, really cooking.
Yeah.
Lightning bolts just light up the whole thing, and just scary, and thunder just crashing and everything.
Oh my!
Oh, and Skeet's getting kind of scared.
I bet.
He really is getting kind of scared. Well, that storm's raging, and big thunderbolt hits, and I tell you what, it shook that funeral home so much that the bungee cords on the top came loose, and Jake Brake Oldendorf comes sitting up in that coffin, and Uncle Skeet said, "I believe if you're sitting up, I'm going home." If you're sitting up, I'm going home.
Sitting up with the dead.
Sitting up with the dead. What he told Jake. What do you think?
I like it.
Well, that lightning and thunder made them bungee cords fail. And poor Jake Brake just sat straight up in the
Poor old Jake Brake.
Jake Brake Oldendorf, yeah. I don't know if you knew that happened or not.
No, I hadn't heard that.
If you're going to be sitting up, I'm going home.
I don't blame him. I would have too. I think I'd have.
Isn't this a fun show to do? I love it.
Oh. That's all I can say. Len, thank you very much for being here.
I'm always happy to come and be on this show, and I'm glad that your audience is expanding, and you're expanding all over the place.
We are do so. Hey, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Have a great day.